I tell her that's not a pineapple. That's my wife.
Come on now.
I know. Boy. Well, we are live.
We are
live.
Okay.
We are live.
All right.
Welcome into Going
Hey.
Yard. We're Going Yard. We're here.
Hey.
We're living it. Alex, how are you? How's it going today?
Doing great. Doing well. We got Monday Night Football currently happening as we speak, as we film, as you record. Monday Night Football happening now. We're in it.
Do you have implications fantasy-wise? Are you really?
I've implied some things. I just need Laporta to get a cool 100 for me to get a win. That's all.
Okay.
That's all.
Yeah, you're right there.
Besides that,
beautiful.
That no real other implications. What about you? How are you? You got some little bit of sugar in the game here, right? You got a little.
I get a little bit. I've got I am, backs against the wall, 0-2 in one league, and I have Jameson Williams left, and I need him to get about 14, and he's got about 6.
Okay.
So he's chipping away. Is
it just him going in
I
that
need
game?
8 more points.
Just him going?
Just him.
You're rooting against.
Yeah.
Okay.
Huh? And it's Parker and I. We're going back and forth. He was in jury duty today, and he was. We were texting back and forth.
He was texting you in jury duty.
That's what I said. And I was like, just call him guilty and call it a day. just go in there, tell him he's guilty.
Now,
and
this
get
would
out
be
of
even
there.
more illegal. But was he texting you about what the crime was?
Well, so he starts off
This guy murdered him.
Another murder. No, he starts off very fun, very sharp. He just goes, I'm in jury duty all day today, but the real judgment will come at 8:30 Eastern tonight.
Yes.
Yeah. And so I was joking, just go guilty and get out of there. And he goes, that's what I've been telling him. No due process.
Right.
We're over due process.
Not in fantasy. Not when fantasy's on the line.
Yeah. We go back and forth. We have a good sport. He and I, we have just a lot of sporting jokes back and forth, because the other thing in play, he and I are in the college football video game league.
NCAA 25. Yeah.
Yes. What is it? The 5 of us, 6 of us are in that, and Parker and I play each other that as well. So he and I are just in a pressure cooker, absolute pressure.
Have you been really chirping each other this week? Really chirping back and forth? It sounds like
we've been chirping. It's really heating up now. We've got this. We've got the fantasy. We've got this going on. But before we get even further, because we're really diving deep here, I think we'll do our usual stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We'll chat about the pick'ems. I think we move that to the front. We kind of look at our results. You'll get a live reaction. We'll go into fantasy. We can kind of go down the aisle and each one, bang, 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 see how they go, and talk about each game fantasy wise, as well as our pick'em. And then I know we had some other fantasy. We're kind of into the meat of the season now. We're about past the cusp of tangible findings. So I think we should start giving some recaps on our teams. And we'll get into that.
I would say you said we're getting into the meat. If this is a hamburger and you say we're getting into the meat, we're definitely through the bun. We're just about done the lettuce. I think week 4, once the bye weeks start kicking in, that's when we hit that meat. I think we're right before meat. I think we're lettuce length away from the meat.
Our teeth are breaking. Yeah, they're breaking the surface of the patty.
I think so. I think so.
And we're right there. And so that's good. We'll chat about that. And then I think we close with our little Phillies. We were chatting about it last week, but I made it to the game, and I now know more than I used to know. And it seems like you got a fun little story too. So we'll kind of close on that.
A folk legend is being born. A folk legend is being born.
I love it.
Just a quick tease. Just a quick one.
I like that. I like that a lot. Cool. Well, great. Before we get too sporty and into it, how was the weekend? Did we do anything crazy, wacky, wild?
Nothing crazy, nothing wild, nothing too wacky. Did do, weekend up in New Hope. We are right at the cusp. We're about to hit fall. Those leaves are looking heavy. They're looking heavy. They're still up there. They haven't fallen yet, but they're looking heavy right now.
Drowsy.
They're very drowsy.
They're nodding off. They're nodding off.
Went up there. met up with a friend. We walked around, do you remember the old canal? Walk down a canal. When's the last time you walked down a canal on the old Jersey side? The Jersey side, went down to the wing dam.
Yeah.
Went down to the wing dam, popped our
Whoa.
feet off of the edge and sat on the edge, just babbling brook. Sky looked beautiful, some clouds, wispies. You get a real breeze coming in off the wing dam. You get the current really coming in, quickly whipping around the edge of that wing dam, and lovely.
Sure.
Lovely time.
Is this date 3 for you?
No,
or is
not
this
a date.
friendship,
Just a friendship
kind of thing?
Just a friendship. I don't want to dox anybody. We talked about that.
Yeah.
But just,
I know.
just a friend. Just a friend hanging out.
Hanging out. Couple of friends putting their toes in the water, listening to the whipping wind.
Catching up.
In a heavy fall.
We went to a couple bars afterwards, and I realized I knew I knew 2 bartenders, Daniel Beggs at Fran's, Rhett, who I'm playing in fantasy football. If we could kind of circle back, you were talking about some of your crap talking back and forth, your shit talking back and forth. This is how ours went. He's kicking my ass. His defense, the Vikings defense, got 40 points for him, and that sealed, signed, and delivered the whole thing.
We had them
on me. Yeah, he sure did. 41 points against me. So I sent him a GIF of the Monty Python knight that has both his arms chopped off and is still trying to fight. And I said, I hope you're ready for Laporta. He's just got to get 100 points tonight. And his response, this is his response. He goes, if Laporta does get 100 points tonight, I'll live stream an Arby's mukbang and donate all the proceeds to fat camps. So Neil,
is that like a massive meal to eat?
I had to look it up. I didn't know myself. I had to look it up, and I wanted to look it up for the pod here. It is when people live stream and review their meals. And so this would be him going to Arby's, and I looked it up, and Arby's is kind of gross because it's fast food meats. And it's like roast beef, and it's kind of gross.
Sure.
So let's hope Laporta gets 100 tonight. Let's hope Laporta gets 100 tonight.
Yeah, I mean, fingers crossed.
Yep. So it was. I mean, we saw him at the bar, and then saw another bartender friend. So we saw like 3-4 different bartender friends around New Hope. So
oh my gosh,
fun Saturday night, and then Sunday. We did our NFL viewings, and I say I just mean me. Me, myself, and Scott Hansen.
There you go. See, that's what I wanted. I wanted to know how you're watching these games, and I like that because we had earlier in the season you had the wedding type deal, and your Thursday night you're at the bar. You got one of those in. Well, last weekend, remind me again. What did you end up?
Well, I watched it with the Fam Bam, so I watched it. That's when we had sort of the conversation of like boomer energy of being really blown away by Red Zone, just really blown away by it. And now
watching it through their eyes.
I've opened up a can of worms with this. So if you listen to that episode, guys, they want me now to figure out a new cable plan for them. I'm talking about Sling TV. I'm talking about YouTube TV and different options. You don't need the cable box.
God.
You guys have 2 smart TVs. Maybe you get 2 more smart TVs. It's an investment. So that was
it's an investment that only appreciates.
Well, I didn't realize how much they're paying for the cable box fees, like the maintenance fees for cable box. They just showed it to me.
Right.
It's a real racket. Fios, man. It's a real racket.
My gosh, I can imagine.
This is a bit of a tangent here. I want to hear, how was your weekend, Jake? Because you kind of got into it, right? You kind of got into some stuff here, right?
Ken and I had been planning for a while, since the summer. We are good golf buddies, and I feel like this year we're finally getting back into it. Really haven't the last few years, but I think since the bachelor party really is kind of what kicked it off back in May, and then it's been a summer of kind of really hitting it. And also Casey's really into it, and he's awesome to just hit the range with on just like a weeknight, shoot the shit, and kind of do like a quick little like hour, 2 hours kind of thing. So we've done that, and that's been really fun.
You found a range friend. You need a range friend.
Range buddy. Couple of rangers.
Yeah, a couple of
with a
Power Rangers.
Couple of range buddy. But in all of this, what happened was Ken and I at one point were the main proponents of we wanted to do, and I guess it's more of an East Coast Sunday, but we wanted to golf before the zone experience. So we wanted to get
on a West Coast time
full
zone?
bro day, but I know. So kickoff's at 10 a.m. and we're like, okay, well let's get some golf in. When Ken pitched this weeks ago, I was like, I'm down. Two other guys are like, no way, we're not doing it. So Ken was like, well, I'll book a golf outing for Saturday so we can all go have a good time, and then Jake and I can go Sunday. I was like, oh, okay, that's a lot of golf. That's a lot of golf, but we can do it now. This Sunday, I will say it was 9 holes. 9 holes on Sunday.
Okay, that's better. That's better.
Yeah, not as crazy, but I chat with Lisa. I go, hey, by the way, golf, is that cool? She goes, yeah, that's great. And this is a week ago. Middle of the week rolls around. She goes, she works at USC. Like the USC game is this weekend. And I was like, oh my gosh, of course. How could I forget? So it turns into 8 p.m. kickoff for USC. I end up going from golf at 2:55. I'm up in like northern LA, and I have to go like 3-4 hours. I'm done by like 7, and I have to fight rush hour home. I've got to feed Pippin, shower, get an Uber to the game. As this is happening, we get HelloFresh delivered, and HelloFresh was delivered to the wrong door. So I am frantic. I've just golfed for 4 hours. I'm running around. I'm
you little tuned up here? You little tuned up?
Luckily, I was not, because I was driving. Okay. I knew the marathon. I knew the marathon that was ahead of me. I wish, but I was not. End up, I'm looking for this HelloFresh. I find it. I'm late to the Uber driver. I get in there and I'm like, hey, sorry, I was golfing for 4 hours and I came home, had to feed my cat. I lost my HelloFresh. I'm telling him this. And I just came into the Uber too hot because he was listening to classical music.
Wow.
It was just like, he was listening to classical music and he was just like, okay. And that was all he said. And I was like, how's your night going? How's it been? And he just gives me just the, he just goes with like, same as every other night is what he says to me. We didn't say a word the rest of the drive.
Classical play the whole time?
Yeah. Classical played the whole time, and I was doing a lot of texting at that time. A lot of texting, a lot of driving around. We get to the USC game. I get it there by the end of the first quarter.
Can I pause here? The classical music in the car. Classical music in the car.
Yeah.
I do like it. I do like it in LA traffic. Did it soothe you? Did you like it after a while, or did you not like it?
I was all for it, and I think he and I kind of hit it off after that because I basically was like, I just came in and I didn't know the vibe, and our worlds collided. Nobody's fault. I go in there, and then honestly, after it was nice to kind of chill out. By the end, as I'm getting out, and I'm happy you brought this up because at the end, I go and like, hey, sorry to like ruin your tranquil, evening there, but have a great rest of the night. And he was so appreciative because you could just tell I just kind of went with the flow, and he's very happy about that. And it let me fuck around on my phone too and just not feel bad about that. You know what I mean? Not feeling like I got to chat with somebody. So it worked out. It went great, but it was crazy because then I go right into the USC game and we are smack dab in the student section.
My goodness.
And there are drunk, fucked up USC students against Michigan State. And I had forgotten what it's like to be and get that kind of heckling. Like, it gets very personal. Very quickly.
I'm so curious. And when you say personal, were they heckling which student? You were USC students, right? So you're not getting heckled. Your Michigan State players are getting heckled, right? Or their fans, right?
We've got a couple in Michigan State, and there's some older nice guy down the row, but there's 2 Michigan State, like also college kids, and they are just surrounded. And there's this one USC kid. He's got the jersey on. He's got a hat. He's sweating profusely. He's got some of the gnarliest back hair I've ever seen. And he's just yelling at him, like turning around, and is just like, it's like, what are they doing out there? As if it's their fault. And then from behind, you can hear like, imagine going to Michigan State and then getting into like, holy shit. I mean, watching this game sucks, but living in Michigan, and they're just going in. And then at one point I heard like, I don't know what's more worthless, this offensive line or their degrees.
Oh.
And at that point, I was like, I really hope they make a comeback. And they did do. There was a 14-point swing where they were really threatening. And I was in a USC hat, like, I hope Michigan State can really pull this thing out. Like, at least make it a game. You know, like, I'm rooting for USC just because of Lisa. She works there. You know, I'm supportive in that way. But otherwise,
you're a chameleon. You're a chameleon
less.
that night. You're just blending in. You're just kind of blending in.
Yeah, I want a good game. I just want a good game at that point.
And some civil justice. Some civil justice for those Michigan State fans.
Yeah, exactly. And it got crazy because at one point there was an injury. They had to get the stretcher out. They get the ambulance.
Nothing kills a buzz like that.
Nothing kills a buzz. And but anyway, I just say that because it did add another 30, 40 minutes to the game. So I've gone from the golfing, doing a full 18, a lot of par fives. I rush through the city. I make it to USC. Watch that. We get done by like 12:30, and we left a little early. I left in the fourth quarter, and we end up getting home. I get home by like 1:30. And then I'm right back. I'm up at 6 a.m.
buddy,
to go do the 9 holes. So then Ken and I do that, and we get 9 in. I go home, I shower, and then I go and I watch Red Zone, and I am exhausted. I am on fumes, and that's when Ken was a real champ, because boy, can that guy host. He makes homemade chicken, not even just the like chicken wings, but like full chicken breasts. And he's making like a full hot sauce, it was like a chicken wing type seasoning, but just you got a full thing
buffalo
of chicken. So
it was buffalo chicken. It sounds great.
He crushed it. He got me a cappuccino, and then like a coffee. He made it at home. He had the whole setup.
Did he do any foam art? Did he do any of that?
He didn't do it, but he did get some foam. He's got the whole setup. He looks like he's a barista. If he really wants to, he can really. I'm jealous. I might
have an
look
apron?
into some of that
Does
later.
He need an apron? Should I get him one?
That would be pretty good. A little barista action.
Giants one,
because he does love hosting.
I'm a giant barista. Some Giants pun or something. I don't know.
Exactly. New York Giants. Exactly. He would love it. But anyway, that ends up happening. Then some of the other guys come over. Nick, Jared, Casey, and I, and the rest of the guys are fired up. And I'll tell you what, this will, go right into the pick'ems and the fantasy, because I am 0-2 in that league. And everyone's it's our first year. Everyone's trying to feel each other out. And they just know me as the guy that's 0-2, staring down the barrel of 0-3. And it is.
I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you in the same league. It's a bunch of new guys. They're feeling each other out, like you said. I'm 0-2 as well. I think I might finally snag my first win here. And if we want to talk about it, we can start getting into some players, specifically this team. I'm really excited. Marion Hampton showed up. He's alive. He's alive.
Well, Najee went down.
I had the handcuff, and
what a blessing.
I was just going to say. He tore his ACL. What a blessing. Tore his ACL. What a blessing. But you're right. No, for the purposes of my fantasy team, I can now cut him off of my bench. He's not going to take any more carries away. And it frees up a roster spot.
Put him in the IR spot.
Well, and I already got that filled up with Worthy. But yeah, I'm excited. I get first win.
You got two. You got 2 IR. That league has 2 IR. Yep. Give it a little.
Thank you.
Changes everything.
It does change everything.
I know.
Did you have any
I
bad
know.
injuries?
Well,
Any bad injuries this week?
yeah.
What'd you have for your teams here?
Player-wise, you mean, for my
Yeah,
guys?
for your guys. Did you have anybody go down?
Nothing, not Burrow. Thankfully, that already happened, so I've already passed that.
Yeah.
No big injuries. Just the teams are not performing is kind of the issue, because I had a couple of guys really be pretty piss poor. But I think a good way about that we go about this is, I think we go into the pick'ems. Sure. We take a look at the pick'ems. We get your reaction, and then we can kind of dig deep into some of the fantasy implications for each of.
I love that.
Games.
And also,
like
you said, get my reaction. I haven't looked at these. Again, second week in a row. We picked them. We picked the pick'ems.
Yep.
And so this is my live reaction. Yep. I'm thinking, now last week, I said we did shitty and we did great. This week, I feel like I know. I think I remember. And there's some big upsets. Like you can't see the Browns coming in and beating the Packers. You can't foresee that.
Right.
So
right.
I'm thinking I did pretty bad. I probably got maybe 5 right. That's my guess.
Okay. And just as a reminder, I want to make sure you know, it's out of 16. So you get 16 games. Is a perfect score.
That's right. And I got
16 games.
I got 5 right.
And so you're going for what?
No, maybe I got 8. I'll give myself 8. I'll say 8. Now it has to hit the spread though, right? That's the tough thing. It's not just a straight up.
Yeah, like you're only getting it correct if they also beat the spread, and you're right on the right side of that. 8.
So I'm gonna guess 8. It's for half of them.
Half. Okay.
50.
I'm gonna share a screen and we can kind of really get into this here. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Can you see that? Can you see
it? I gotta zoom in.
And now, people listening, X, you got a 9 out of 10.
Okay.
You got a 9 out of 10. Almost nailed it as far as your prediction. Now, the funny part, I also got a 9 out of 10. No, that's
it
another.
Should be noted, we don't do this together.
Wrinkle.
We do this on our own.
Yes, other sides of the country, I will add.
Yeah, I like that you added that.
Now, I will put one small asterisk. Actually, two asterisks,
because you didn't do it in time. Is that why?
I didn't get a Thursday in, and I didn't do it in time.
Oh, MJ, boo-hoo.
Luckily, you so now you were right with the pick,
that was a ridiculous
but it wasn't within the spread.
Yeah, that was a ridiculous line.
Yeah,
Miami did play well, but even that late field goal at the end, if you remember the Buffalo game on Thursday, put them up at 10, did not get close to that 12.5 line. Is crazy. Probably should have.
Yeah,
that was the highest spread of the whole week. Probably should have given that more thought. The spread itself.
And with that game, there's a couple of things I want to chat about, but the one is I was watching with Jared, is now been competing for top scorer. If you listen last week, he was the big Goff, Amon-Ra stack. Alex lost Goff, and Jared was so thrilled about it. Now, it was very funny because in person we're all watching together, and Jared's like, who is the most on the season? I feel like I'm just killing it. And everyone's like, yeah, dude, it's been 2 games. Like, relax. Like, you crushed it last week. Come on. And he's asking us, like, what are the total points on the season? It's like, dude, you're winning. Relax. But his team is great. He also has James Cook. James Cook is another one. And that's why I want to bring it up for the Buffalo game, where he and I were chatting and we're saying, like, in the offseason, like last season, he was great. He had like 20 touchdowns, and everyone in the offseason was just like, he's due for touchdown regression. It's just not. And then in retrospect, I'm just kind of like, or nothing changed. Right. The team didn't change, and maybe he's going to do the same thing.
I had him last year. I loved him last year on one of my teams. So reliable. Loved looking at him in the slot. You look at when you look at your roster and you just kind of smile, you just have a little smile about it, and you go, how did I get away with this? How did I don't have that feeling this year, but last year, I felt that with James Cook, and I fell into that trap of thinking he couldn't do it again. He couldn't possibly do it again.
Yeah,
You know?
I did. I think that's the thing I want to remember for next year because I'm still fresh. I still have the mindset of all the, off-season mock
Oh,
drafts and
so many
so-called
mocks.
experts talking. The thing I want to remember for next year is when someone says the phrase due for regression, I don't care. I don't care if they're due for regression. I like if it's all the same. Why does it have to? Why are they due for regression? Just because?
Maybe they're just a great
I don't
player.
know. That's
Maybe they're
my
just a great
yeah.
player, and maybe they're not.
Exactly.
I'm with you here, and I feel like I just woke up and I have a mock draft hangover. I did so many mock drafts over the summer. It was
Yeah.
disgusting. I was
Yeah.
binging mock drafts. I was
Uh,
I'd wake up in a
well, you're not on the
stupor,
juice.
you know.
Yeah, you're not
I'm not
drinking. So
drinking,
you
and
just
so I
were
replaced
you
it.
were drunk on mock
And
drafts. A couple of
I
mocktails.
I close to that was very good. I overdosed. I think I overdosed, and it distorted my perception of these because then I get those reactionary takes of like, he's due for regression. This is a great year for Lad McConkey. Well, guess what? You know what? They get Keenan Allen and they get Keenan Allen back, and
Yeah.
he plays the same position,
Yeah.
and he's fucking 80 years old, and he's taking away all his stuff, and Lad shouldn't be in the top. And guess what, Alex? This is my reminder for next year. Maybe you shouldn't take rookie running backs thinking they're going to be Chris Johnson and Matt Forte, okay? Because that's what I had in my head this year. Is I got Chris Johnson and Matt Forte, and Marion Hampton might
Who's that? Oh,
Marion
Marion Hampton.
Hampton
Who's the other one?
and Harvey. I really thought was going to be the Reggie Bush or the
Yeah.
Alvin Kamara in the
That's
Sean
on
Payton system.
that's on me.
Yeah,
We did a couple of
I rewatched it.
those
Yep,
together. I liked Harvey. I did
dude,
say
DJ
though I like Dobbins
Jake,
as
do you
well.
remember?
I did say I
Do
like
you
Dobbins.
remember in the movie Interstellar where he's
Yes,
he's
I
in the
know exactly.
library and he's watching himself in the
Yes.
past and he's going, "No,
Yep.
Murph, no, don't get on,
Yeah.
don't get on it,
Yeah.
don't do it, don't do it."
The book falls
That
off.
was me
Yeah.
listening to one of our podcasts, and you're drumming up Harvey, and I'm like,
I
yeah,
know.
I can hear myself getting filled up with hot air. I'm like an air balloon.
Well,
No, I had this before.
look.
I had the preconceived notions prior to. I'm not blaming you, but you did
Yeah. Well,
confirm a lot
I
of
was
my
still bullish on
beliefs.
him.
Yeah.
I do have him in a league in another league, and I'm just
He
holding
will. He'll
on.
do it.
The thing with rookies though is that
Come
they
on late.
like by the end of the year it was a good year, but in the beginning it took some ramping
Yeah.
up. So I still like Harvey. I think they played some good defenses so far. Um, I will say because we're jumping to that Chargers or Marion Hampton thing, nothing sadder than me. I'm just dead. I'm dead tired. I'm running on
Yeah.
fumes, and I'm just yelling. My fantasy team, we're staring down the barrel of 5%, and I am yelling at the TV I've got Herbert, and I'm just yelling, Herbie fully loaded. Herbie fully loaded. And the guys were getting into it, but he just didn't deliver until like the very fourth quarter. He had a heroic touchdown. It got me all amped up, but it was not nearly what I needed. Was it the and I do love him. I think he's gonna be great rest of the year. He's a tough Denver defense. But oh man, did not perform like I needed him to. Really, really. And that was one. It looks like we both got right though on the pick'em, because I don't know. I feel like Denver's got a good defense, but they aren't. I just had them so high in my head from last year that I overrated them. I think, and they're kind of crashing back to earth a little bit for me in general. I think Bo Nix,
Yeah, I was gonna say
isn't as great as I
that's
thought.
right. Bo Nix is not as great as we thought. And it feels similar to, and I'll kind of bring us back to just go back in order for the pick'ems. The Minnesota game, the JJ McCarthy feels similar, where you're thinking, oh, he's going to be great, just like Bo Nix. You're thinking, oh, this guy's going to have a great season. If Sam Darnold can do it, he can do it. And then he gets hurt. But is he hurt? Carson Wentz comes in, and apparently Carson Wentz, you don't need much for Minnesota when the former Eagle, Isaiah Rodgers,
I know.
comes in,
I had this bookmarked.
and
Yep.
I was just ready to talk about this on the pod here. We're looking at this pick'em. 48-10 is the final.
Yep.
28 points you could probably account for Isaiah Rodgers, because literally 2 touchdowns himself, a pick six, a fumble recovery touchdown. So 2 touchdowns he actually ran back, another peanut punch fumble that led to another touchdown. And then I think he had another good stop or a big pass deflection that I marked in my head, which felt like another changing a turning point or a changing point in the game, or at least of possession, which gave his team another score and another, like, those are difference making plays. And he made huge ones, and it was like all in the first half. It was crazy.
I know.
Just his game,
I saw somewhere it was the highest graded PFF. I don't know if it was full game or half that they've ever recorded. So at any position, they give grades on every play for each position and how that player performed. And this was the highest graded performance that they've ever done. And they've been doing it for, I don't know, maybe 10 years or so, which is just crazy. So, I mean, it's wild because, one, you had to play him in fantasy. So that's brutal that the fantasy gods bestowed that on you and just getting crushed. But then we've been talking about cornerback 2 for the Eagles all offseason into this season.
10 million. That was his contract.
We had him.
10 million is what we.
How
10
much?
million, I think, is what his contract was. So that is what we did not offer, and that's, I don't know where that money went. Like who they did pay instead.
Zadarius Smith. Zadarius.
We paid him that much for the 1 year. Maybe I'll look it up.
I think so, but it's only 1 year. It's only 1 year.
I would have loved to Isaiah Rodgers. I'll look at. Maybe he even made more than that. Maybe like 12. I'll say contract here. I'll look it up while you're going over the rest of that.
My goodness. Yeah. You just really wish you could have kept him. The other thing that is crazy, another big blowout, was Daniel Jones. It has not struck midnight yet. He is
sorry, Jake. Who is Dan? You mean Indiana Jones? Are you talking about Indiana Jones? Indiana quarterback?
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's his new nickname in Indiana. I think on the broadcast they say it even. But yeah, he looks great.
I like that. I like that a lot. And this is another, and we could talk about it, but Jared, his team has been crushing it. His other running back, Jonathan Taylor, has been killing it this year.
He's another. You're kind of wondering how bad was Anthony Richardson, because the team.
Yeah.
I mean, the team looks way better, but they didn't change a lot. The only thing that changed was quarterback.
Their defense.
Yeah.
Their defense looks really good. I think they got some draft picks and stuff. But they have what was his name?
No,
Tre'Davious
before
Ward,
I leave it, the
more.
Isaiah Rodgers contract was 2 years, $15 million, so $8 million fully guaranteed. So not even $10 million. So it's 2 years, 15 for the Isaiah Rodgers contract for the Vikings. So
yeah, that's got to be. I mean, he's got to have a chip on his shoulder too. He wins the Super Bowl and they don't bring him back, kind of thing.
Yeah, I think it's like bet on himself.
They just want to be cheaper at the position.
He wanted to bet on himself.
I do think because he had the gambling problem. Yeah. There you go. You go.
Because he gambled.
It was suspended a year. Because he gambled. Yeah. So very cool. I mean, I am rooting for him. I wanted him to be on the team long term. I thought he would have been like he was a nice piece. He wasn't like as a 2, he was fine. And I thought he was like an amazing 3, which is what we had last year. But he probably could have done the cornerback too, it looks like.
Also, kick returning. I mean, it looked ugly. Tank Bigsby. I mean, we don't want to dive into Eagles just yet. We can kind of go in, but we'll get to it. We'll get to it. But Isaiah Rodgers could have done that as well, because he clearly has some return skills, as he got 2 touchdowns. And and like you said,
he did it in the past.
Yeah, like you said, Indiana or Indianapolis rolled Tennessee. I don't know if there was any kicking problems there, because there's a lot of weird kicking and special teams this weekend, right?
Yeah, the thing I was chalking it up to defensively, initially, as I was watching Red Zone and it's bouncing around, you're getting all the game breaks. I was like, well, I know there's a lot of backup quarterbacks in this week because Burrow's out.
Carson
There
Wentz.
was Carson Wentz was playing. Um, there was a few others that I'm kind of blanking on, but Mariota ended up
That's right.
playing
Yeah,
as
for the
well.
Commanders, Jaden Daniels is out, and
Yep.
yeah,
Yep. So anyway, just a few of those. So I was like, okay, that makes sense. There's a couple of these kind of floating around or whatever, but San Francisco as well have Mac
Brock
Jones.
Purdy might come back next week. Yeah, yep.
Yep. Yep. So anyway, I was kind of talking, but then it wasn't really the quarterbacks that were really messing things up. It was like you're saying, the special teams.
Wild week.
It was just a ton of stuff going on. The blocked kicks were crazy. We'll get to the big one, but man, tons of those going on. This next one is probably one of the more surprising ones of the whole pick'em for me is Atlanta getting blanked
I
by the worst team in the league, Carolina.
this was
Crazy.
one of those games where I have to rethink now both of these teams because it's like I almost feel betrayed by both of them. I thought I knew who you were.
Yeah.
I thought I knew who you were, and you did this to me. Like Carolina, where has this
Yeah.
been? And then also Atlanta, what's going on? Penix, he looked inept. He looked pretty
Yeah.
bad. There's a lot of fantasy
Yeah.
implications that we're gonna get, like we want to talk about. Like Bijan Robinson could be the number one running back. He gets the ball, he looks good, but then, I have Drake London. Has anybody seen Drake London? He's like he's in red. He should get some white stripes just like here and just be Waldo because nobody can find him. We're all looking for him. And Kyle Pitts kind of had a resurgence, but not in this game. So there's a lot of Atlanta playmakers that I think people took high. You have Teteroa McMillan on the other side for Carolina. Did he do
Mm-hmm.
okay in this one, or what did it look like?
You know what's crazy is I don't even think so. I think it was defensive stuff going on. They had a couple of big defensive things. Tet was actually his worst game of the season as far as fantasy is concerned. They didn't do. I mean, I'm looking at the game right now. They 30, 30 points. The scoring plays were Rico Dowdle,
Mm-hmm.
and a pick six, and then Bryce Young rushing touchdown. The rest field
Oh, that's
goals.
right.
So,
The rushing
like
touchdown. Yeah.
fantasy wise, no one has Bryce.
Right.
No one has Bryce, and I mean
Chuba?
Dowdle. No one's starting
Did
Dowdle.
Chuba do
You know, it's
okay, even though he didn't get the touchdown? Did Chuba do okay? I mean, because he might be
Chuba had 73 yards.
okay. Because he might be
Yeah,
the
he had 73
lone
yards on the ground,
fantasy
2
asset,
catches.
that people have.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, Dowdle outscored him because it's so boring. It's so boring because it's a defensive game.
Right.
Bryce Young only threw 121 yards. It kind of reminds me of the Eagles with Hurts last week,
Or
where
the
it's
first
like
half
he
of
threw
this
like
week.
100.
The first half of this week,
Yeah,
like it looked anemic, barely.
but last week he only had the 100 yards, and Chris Jones is yelling at him, and he had the rushing touchdown, and they still won the game. And this felt like the same thing for Bryce Young, where he was just like terrible numbers, but they won the game handedly, so you can't be mad at him. Which is
Yeah, I
kind
didn't
of
catch
crazy,
much
but
of this game on Red Zone because it was, like you're saying, pretty boring. I saw more of the next one, the Tampa Bay and Jets.
oh,
Now
crazy.
that
I will say really quick,
Sure,
Alex. Sorry, real
hit me.
quick. We did have some funny things I wanted to fill you in on in the fantasy league. We do have one um, Falcon fan in the fantasy league
Mhm.
there, the other Jake, and some people were texting him and just saying, "Hey, quick little wellness check. How we doing?"
No, because they got blanked.
Yeah, and then also his fantasy's not doing well either. So
Yeah, that guy.
yeah, little bit of
Quick
a
reminder, I think we talked about it on the pod, but quick reminder for the listener. This was a guy that said he had the 6th or 7th pick, but he was not going to get Bijan Robinson, who's going like first or second. He puts in the group chat, I will trade my whole draft for Bijan Robinson. Just desperately
yeah.
wanted his favorite player. and
Yeah.
probably for the best he didn't.
And he also started Penix this week, which we talked about how bad he was. Yeah. So he had a brutal fantasy week. He also, I believe he lost Burrow. I think he lost
And so
Burrow, and he comes in with Penix.
Oh, that's rough.
Yeah. So that's a tough look.
That is tough.
As a fan of it. But anyway, the Tampa Bay game, as you were getting into.
This game was fun. This was a fun football game. Crazy stuff. This is where one of the block kicks happened. Did you see the reaction from new head coach Aaron Glenn?
Yeah.
One of the greatest dances, should be a GIF that everybody should have it saved in their phone. Just an absolute incredible celebration. I can only describe it as like half skeleton man, half,
I love it.
Oh gosh. He had so much rhythm to it. And also, it's so funny because he's a first-time head coach, and they end up losing this game. And so the context makes it very funny as well. But good for him. I mean, the Jets have been sad, and it was a little bit of happiness for them. And Baker Mayfield is like this indestructible 90s hero. He's like, I say 90s, he's like an action figure in the 90s where he's like a G.I. Joe kind of superhero where he's just all American. He's talking shit. Everyone around him are getting hit by landmines. He loses Mike Evans. He loses Ibuka. He already lost Godwin. Oh no, they're Tristan Wirfs is down. Oh no, I'm just gonna keep throwing grenades. And I mean, he did it again. 3 weeks, 3 game-winning drives. Baker's fun to watch. I don't know what else to say.
He really is. He's doing the smelling salt. He's so likable.
That's right.
He's doing the smelling salts. Yeah, he's just doing it all. And that, man, Tampa Bay, they just keep losing guys. They lost Evans, like you mentioned. They lose all the guys, and it's like they keep finding a way. Their offensive line, didn't have Wirfs. They lost another guy, I believe. So they just keep finding a way. And man, now I will say, they play the Eagles next week. So that is going to be an interesting game. I hope, unfortunately for them, but I hope they're still banged up just for 1 week longer, and they get healthy after
for this game, which is unfortunate for the Eagles and great for them. Their best offensive lineman is coming back, which I hope he's not. I hope that's just optimism from the Tampa Bay brass or media, but yeah, you're right. I hope they're still banged up for at least 1 more week, and then healthy the rest of the year. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly. I feel like Tampa Bay has been the Achilles heel for the Eagles this Nick Sirianni, Jalen Hurts tenure, and probably before that, I suppose, all the way back.
Rondé Barber. Yeah. They've lost 3 of their last 4 to Tampa Bay. So 3 of their last 4.
Right.
You're right. They are I think it's Vita Vea. That's who I think it is.
I do too. I do too. I think Levante David is very smart and understands and gets people in the right places. And I think Todd Bowles.
Yes.
Todd Bowles, defensive-minded guy. He understands what the Eagles are trying to do. And I think with the weapon of Vita Vea, he can actually stop it.
Up front,
because the Eagles are very much, we're bigger, we're stronger, we're going to punch you in the mouth. And Vita Vea,
you're not bigger than Vita.
Can counter. Yeah. Which is pretty fun. I hope they put Jordan Davis at fullback and they just the two of them.
God, that would
meet in the middle.
That would be a small nuclear explosion. That would be like splitting an atom.
Yeah,
that would be like splitting an atom. I think.
Right, the two of them, the two biggest, most athletic men.
That would look like maybe the second year of Dragon Ball Z. Second year of Dragon Ball Z. You got 2 energy bombs, 2 light bombs hitting each other. You got Vegeta. You got Krillin.
Kamehameha.
You got a Kamehameha. You got Goku, Cell, Frieza.
I like.
We getting these references?
Wow,
I'm going.
Yeah, you. Wow, boo. I'm. Yeah.
Oh shoot! I don't know if you got any. I went through the whole Rolodex in my head.
Krillin. You said Krillin.
I got the main ones. So
you said Vegeta. Yeah, you got
Who are the baby
shit,
ones? Who are
dude.
the
You got
baby?
Goku,
Gohan is new.
Gohan,
Yeah.
and then oh man, you got them all. I think you got all the ones I might have gotten. Now I was gonna go a completely different direction. I was gonna say two bears fighting in the woods, but I like yours. I like yours
Can we
better.
do this? We're tangenting already, but can I do a quick story about how we both started and stopped karate? Was because of Dragon Ball Z. We watched Dragon Ball Z as children. This is for the full
Yeah,
listener here, and Jake and I
I
loved
love
Dragon
this.
Ball Z as kids. We'd come home after school and watch
It
it.
was the best.
We go, oh yeah, Vegeta,
Yep.
and we try to go Super Saiyan with our hair and everything. And we were like, this is great. And then we were like, we should start karate because we thought that was applicable. We thought it was the same thing. So
same thing.
we're doing the same fighting type stuff. And we do karate for a while. And then we realized karate is at the same time as Dragon Ball Z. And we're like, we can't keep doing karate anymore. So then we quit karate. We both started karate because of Dragon Ball Z and quit karate because of Dragon Ball Z.
You know what's incredible is I haven't heard that story, I don't know, maybe in a year, a couple of years. It always kind of comes up. But I mentioned that this weekend at Red Zone. I told this story, and what a coincidence. I don't know, just a kind of Dragon Ball Z kind of
Maybe
weekend.
I felt it. Maybe I felt it. It was top of mind for me. Yeah.
Exactly. But man, yeah, that was cool. I mean, it's just a complete letdown for them to have that blocked kick, like you mentioned. The guy jumped over the line, blocks the kick for the Jets, and they return it. And then I'll tell you what, it felt like Baker went Super Saiyan because he just drove right down the field. And, maybe he took the smelling salts, he fused with Joe Montana, and then he was cool as could be and went down there just Egbuka looks incredible as well, by the way. He looks.
I wish I didn't go harder. I mean, I reached for him in one league, but like people were on to him because where he was getting reached on, and you didn't know he was getting reached. He was getting reached around, and he had a couple leagues you didn't know when to reach. I felt like I didn't know when to because he was gonna go before he was projected to go. And you didn't know when that reach around was coming.
Right.
So I know it's tough to get him.
I had Ken rob him from me about 3-4 picks before I wanted him. And I ended up pivoting to Ricky Pearsall, who I wanted to bring up here because I was on the golf course. I'm chatting with some people and some No, I will say the golf course didn't impact the trade.
No, it did. It did.
No. Hey. It was before. I completed the trade before the golf outing, but I did make a side bet on the golf course, which is why you got the video.
Okay. I didn't know when we were going to get to it in this pod, but do you want to talk about the video now? Because we're getting there.
I don't want to. I want to before I leave it, but Ricky Pearsall, I do want to talk about. So, last week I go and I put on two guys on the trading block. I go Devonta Smith and T. Higgins. Put them on the trade block, and I got a couple of bites. Didn't make sense for Jared and I. Our teams just are the positions are too similar. We have the same needs. I end up looking for Warren for the Steelers. Running Jalen back, Warren. Who you love. That's your guy. That's your guy, Jalen.
I was early on Jalen. Remember you said last week, you're not wrong. You're just early. Yeah. I was so early to the Jalen Warren game. And Najee Harris really destroyed the first couple of years with him. Always high on him. I saw him in one preseason game, and I knew this kid's got it. One preseason game it took.
Yeah. Well, I have had a lot of Caleb Johnson, and I have just been like, oh my God, Warren is completely the guy. It's not Johnson at all. And so I just wanted to trade because I knew with Ricky, I liked him. I had those other two guys. I also had Addison and Rice coming off suspension that I've got too many receivers. So I wanted to get a running back. And it just happened to be Ricky. I really like Ricky. I think you were high on him. I think we were both high on him.
League. He had 20 this week in a PPR.
What's funny is that's what I said was I said, I traded him to this other guy and I go, well, I just knowing my luck because we just traded, he's guaranteed 20 and he got 19.7.
Yep. Oh, I should say, you
Yeah.
also, I like that you did this. You put in the group chat, the block is open, almost like a press release, and then another
Right.
press release style text in the text message in the chain. Whatever your team name is, very happy with Ricky Pearsall, but we had to part ways at this time. And then his fantasy team name, Jalen Warren will be a happy addition to the team. Both teams traded, both teams very happy with one another. Just like a total PR spin, kind of press release.
I did. Well, the detail I put, I'm happy you appreciated it because I tried doing a callback because I put T. Higgins on the block. And so I said at the end, the trade request earlier by T. Higgins was a negotiation tactic. We're very happy to announce we've hit a 2-year extension. And he's very happy. We're on to this week's matchup.
That's right.
We're on to this week's matchup. Yeah. So I love doing that kind of stuff. Now the thing I will say that really damned me was on the golf course. Me and the guy I'm playing, Kyle, both he and I had a little bet. Who he's 2-0, I'm 0-2. What am I doing?
Yeah.
And we had a friendly gentleman's bet that the winner of our fantasy matchup, the loser of our fantasy matchup would have to chug a beer in the other person's favorite team jersey and then post that video to the group. And it was pretty early. We weren't even done the 4:00 slate. And I was like, okay, let's call it. Yep. I had the Eli jersey. I chugged a beer and sent it to the group.
It was disgusting to see you in that Giants Eli jersey. I showed it to Dar and she threw up. She did throw up.
I know.
She was disgusted.
AJ saved it immediately.
Wise move by him. Wise.
AJ, you know what I think? I love him to death, but I think he gets riled up from his other group chat with the other Giants and Eagles.
He always has.
And he brings it to us.
Has.
Yeah. He just comes in so hot every time. And it's like, I get it. If we were razzing back and forth, that's one thing. But he comes in just guns a blazing, riled up from whatever Dylan
is what we do worse. I don't know if we're smug about it, but the Eagles have been so much better than the Giants in the past decade that I'll be honest, I don't take the Giants that seriously. So
I know.
It's been a while since I've been they're going to make a run. I don't believe it.
Yeah.
I don't believe it.
Yeah. It has been about a decade, I think, of them being pretty poor.
Bad.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see. I think they've got good pieces, but there's a part of me that thinks it's just so difficult to win in New York with that media and the pressure, and all that going on. I think there's something to that that just makes it harder. But who knows? Because Philly has ridiculous fans as well, and it's fine for some reason.
I think they've succumbed to the changes of what's happened with Mara the owner is he has listened to the media and then made changes too quickly, and then it's been just constant revolving door of new coaching staff, new GM, and because the media volume is so high in New York, like you're saying, he's succumbed to that pressure. Where I think Jeffrey Lurie has kept Howie Roseman for 20 plus years and has kept certain guys for long periods of time. I think that would be the difference when it comes to and Mara's trying to change that with Joe Shane, and Dayball should definitely have been fired, but he's still hanging in there with them.
Yeah.
It's very different than like Green Bay, for instance, which Green Bay, they have long tenured stuff. They played Cleveland next, right? Or they played Cleveland this week. They kind of crap the bed, but they're like a long tenured. They keep with the same staff, the same quarterback, long view.
Coach.
Yeah, coach,
Yep.
long view. Yeah, long view for them.
Well, they're the shared ownership, right? That's the like shared ownership
Publicly
group or
owned, yeah.
something. Yeah, which is kind of interesting way of doing it. But man, that game was crazy because we'll get into that now. Finally, that Green Bay Cleveland is quite a man. Did you catch it? I was on Red Zone, so I just saw the very
bits
end.
and pieces. That's sort of one thing. I went full. I should have mentioned this in the viewing experience. I watched the Eagles game, and then whenever the Eagles was on a commercial, I'd watch Red Zone, and then I kind of go back to full Eagles. But then in the later slot, I went full Red Zone, and so I didn't get the feel of an NFL game. Do you know what I mean? It's just back and forth and back and forth, and so.
Yeah.
I saw bits and pieces of this game, but I didn't get like an idea of like what went wrong for Green Bay, really.
Yeah, I haven't watched a full game. I've been on full Red Zone pretty much, except for the like Thursday and Monday games, really. Or the only time I'm able to kind of. By the way, I know this is probably bad podcasting, but how's that game
looking
looking?
So you're still down by 8. It looks like, and it's halftime.
My gosh,
it's 14-14.
Yeah, and Parker's already sent me his. He's already messing with me here. He said, "Good game, I'm toast."
So it looks like it. Oh, he's trying to reverse jinx himself right there because
he's trying to revert. Yeah, I'm gonna put it right back on him. I'm gonna put that. Don't you put that on me, Ricky
That's
Bobby.
Great.
I'm gonna give that
That's
right
the
back
best thing you can do. Andrew did that to me week 1, and I got mugged. I got mugged in the street. By the way, in that league, in that league right there, I'm about to have 500 points scored against me through 3 weeks, Jake. An ungodly amount. I am getting like my team started out bad for sure, but some people have won with the amount of scores I've been putting up. My points against is going to be crazy after this upcoming week finalizes. It is it's just been an avalanche, and I'm underneath all this snow, and I'm waiting for that dog with the barrel to come. I'm just waiting for the dog with the barrel to come bury me out of the avalanche that I'm under, because right now Rhett has 180 on me, and Zay Flowers is still going 180 this week. I'm like putzing around with 112. I'm okay. I'm fine. But
yeah, it's just like a below average, but nothing crazy. Yeah,
2 of the 3 weeks, I've gone against the top scorer. So I played Andrew, and he got top score, and he won money. And now this week, and then I think even the other week, it's been a shellacking.
I hope we play next.
I know whoever they play. You were talking about, so for the listener, his team name is the F Shack, and so I'm gonna give in the group chat. I'm gonna give a Yelp review of the F Shack. Just a negative.
Mike, are you doing it right now?
I've already done it. I already have it mocked up. I just gotta wait for this game to finalize, and maybe I'll send it tonight or maybe tomorrow. But I have it all set up. I use ChatGPT to get an image of a fake Yelp review.
I don't know how to break this to you, but I don't know if you need this game to end to actually send
Jake,
it.
Come on, man. Come on, man.
Alex, it's 181 to 112. You don't have anyone left, right? Or who do you have?
I know, but it's part of one of the puns.
You've got Laporta.
Yeah, I got Laporta.
Okay.
It's one of the puns I was setting up was, the air. I could read it to you and look it up, and we shouldn't. We'll go.
No, I want to be surprised. I want to be surprised. Maybe we'll talk about next pod. I do want the listener to hear it, though. I do want to know.
We'll do it next pod. We'll do it next pod. We'll get back on track here. We're getting fantasy crazy. We're getting fantasy crazy in the pick'ems here.
It's my
Cleveland.
fault. Yeah.
How did they do it? How did Cleveland win? How did they beat Green Bay? How did they do it, Jake?
How did they do it? How did they do it? Honestly, I know Myles Garrett seemed like pretty monstrous. I think the injuries at receiver for Green Bay is really stacking up at this point. But I think
they got Golden. They've got Golden has been around. Wicks is still there. Romeo Dobbs is still there.
Yeah.
They still got Tucker
I just
Kraft.
mean Watson, and they lost Reed. Reed was pretty. No, Kraft popped on the injury list this week. I mean, he played, but you didn't see that from Kraft?
No, I didn't.
The Kraft report. Oh, I'm happy. Okay, perfect. This is actually a fun little tidbit to bring up because Kraft on, I think it was Wednesday, he's been healthy all season, no big deal. And then out of nowhere, he just gets a questionable. And there's a report that comes out that says Kraft ankle, it shouldn't be season ending. And that's all it says. And it's like, why would you even mention
Season
the
ending?
season?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Was it that serious? Or
Yeah.
I guess
he goes, well, he ends up playing. It's fine, but I just think the reporting is ridiculous because it just says not season ending. It's not season ending, but it's putting into your head it could have been, it maybe. I don't know. So Kraft, anyway. So they had some kind of injuries there. They had Reed is out, I think 4 to 6 weeks. So he was their number one receiver. I don't know, and maybe honestly, Cleveland just has a good defense. Like, who would have thought that? I mean, they still have Garrett, but the big play is, I think, a guy, Alex, who we talked about already on this pod, who blocked the kick, Denzel Ward. He comes screaming around
he blocked it?
the side.
He blocked it?
Yeah.
I had no idea.
I'll look it up, but let me double check. But yeah, he ends up, and I mean, I don't know if the Eagles can get the. Yeah. Yep. He was the one that blocked it. He pulled the Yardley special where he came around the edge there and just laid out. I think somebody else picked it up, but I don't know if the Eagles can now trade for him after that play because the team is really rallying around him. The price just went up,
Are they I mean, they have Flacco. Like, are they going to be trying to compete? Like,
dude, they got Shadur, dude. They got Shadur.
But he looked pretty garbage in the preseason. He was running around like he was playing Madden with Mike Vick in 04. Like, he was like trying to run around and, juke people.
But they're really hiding him pretty well, all things considered. Like, they're not doing what the Giants are doing with Dart, where Dart is like, people are begging for Dart.
It is the Dart thing. We can get to when we get to the Giants game. It's one of the last ones. Let's move to the Washington, Vegas. Washington trampled Vegas.
Yeah. I mean, I know Scary Terry got huge play, but got tackled at the 1, and my guy Bill Kralski came in there and had his first touchdown. Love him, love Bill. It came out, but I also will say I was pretty worried with how much McNichols played. Did you see
got
this?
The 160-yard run. I think he didn't play a lot, but he got that one really big 60-yard run that made it look like he had a day.
Okay.
Because he did. He broke a lot of tackles, and he looked great.
But the thing that killed me is there was a couple of goal line plays where it was like McNichols twice, he gets stuffed, and then finally Bill Kralski comes in, and then they get it.
Right.
But I was worried because I was like, why is he in there? What's going on? And it was actually the opposite of my experience that happened with Warren. Warren got stuffed twice, and then Kenny Gainwell goes in there and snipes the touchdown.
Kenny, former Eagle, Kenny Gainwell. Remember him well.
Kenny G. Yeah, but Washington's a little surprising too because that was Mariota. Mariota was actually, I had him in one league playing. It was a 2 QB league. I had Daniels go down.
Right? Pretty good week for him, right? Fantasy, right?
Yeah, he had like 20-some. He had a rushing touchdown. Yeah. They did some design runs. He had a fumble, but the team looked pretty good. It is Vegas. The thing I really want to highlight with this game, though, I brought it up with all the guys. Vegas, 24 points. Trey Tucker had 3 touchdowns and 100-some points. He did what Amon-Ra did. He had 40 fantasy points in PPR. But it was all
garbage.
And he's on the waivers.
Wasn't it garbage time, though? Wasn't it like garbage time?
I think.
This feels like like a lot of empty calories. I know he had 40, like you said.
100%. 100%. I like. There's a part of me where the Vegas has some sneaky, like they've Trey Tucker. They they have Geno, and it feels like Tucker almost felt like Lockett or something, like it was kind of like, because Geno has a good deep ball, and he's provided fantasy value for Metcalf and Lockett for a couple of years there. And, I don't know. There was a glimmer. There was a glimmer for Vegas where I was like, Brady's there now. It's Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll is a steady hand.
Chip Kelly's the offensive coordinator.
Chip Kelly.
Genty.
Yep. And it just kind of, they feel, they got Genty. It just feels so frisky. They got Bowers. You know what I mean? Like, they just feel so frisky for fantasy. And like, if Trey Tucker's a number 1 or 2 receiver, like a starting guy, like, I don't know. I think the initial gut instinct is correct. And I think I mentioned it, and Nick was all about it. I hope they listen to this because Nick, I pointed it out on the broadcast. I was like, 3 touchdowns, 160 yards, some catches. And Nick was like, I'm getting him on waivers. I'm spending everything. And I was like, I hope everyone bids. I hope everyone goes crazy and spends a bunch of fab on him.
Yeah.
Because I don't think it holds up. There's a chance it does. There's a chance, they find a connection or whatever.
He could be a guy. I'm not saying it's not out of the realm of possibility that he becomes a good fantasy player, not necessarily a good,
right?
Because there's been those guys on bad teams that they eat up a lot of garbage time fantasy points consistently, and so they become consistent fantasy players because their team's frequently behind and losing by a lot, and they're getting a lot of garbage time, just gobbling it up, just Oscar the Grouch.
Yeah,
just eating up garbage.
He reminds me of kind of like Wan'Dale Robinson a couple of years ago, where he's just PPR. Now it's last year, where not the same style, because Trey Tucker seems more like he's got the deep ball. So stylistically, they're different, but they're both executing in garbage time. So yeah, similar thing. And that brings us, I think, to the Rams-Birds game.
Here we go.
Now, Alex, what was this like? You're watching.
Yeah.
Now, I'll let you know, I watched Red Zone, but what I did later, like today, on Sunday Ticket, they give you the condensed game. I watched the condensed game. It's 40 minutes. It's 40 minutes. And I, on my lunch break, I got to see some more of the nitty-gritty.
Can you kind of put it on in the background during your work? Can you do that? Or I don't know how intensive your work is today. I would do that every once. I didn't do that today, but I would do that every once in a while. I would sneak a game in the background, just on the background.
But it's nice because you get the Red Zone with everybody, with all the guys. Everyone's freaking out. We all got the fantasy, and then Monday rolls around, and you're able to kind of just
zero in.
Throw it on, kind of chill. Yeah, it's just catch anything you might have missed or whatever. But
so, you asked what was my viewing experience like watching the whole Eagles game live. I didn't tell you this during the what my watch was like, but Saturday, out in New Hope late, so I'm kind of sleepy, tired. I wake up and I get a little breakfast sandwich here. I go to Newtown Bagel and I get a pork roll, egg and cheese. I'm back on the East Coast. The pork roll's back. It's back in the diet now. That's my little cheat. Wow. It's a weekend. I eat healthy during the week. Weekends, I get little cheats. I get little cheats here. Little cheats.
I like that. I like that a lot.
And I earned it. The whole week I eat, rabbit food. And I eat this whole bagel. Pork roll, egg, cheese. And I pop up that recliner. I get this blanket. One, I kind of used it almost like a weighted blanket. Another one I curled around my neck like a pillow and that was a real fuzzy one. Around my neck. So I got 2 blankets.
Sure.
It's not even that cold, but I put a little fan on me even, get the air moving.
And
a chocolate milk. I didn't say the chocolate milk. And a chocolate milk. And
is it a Yahoo or a Yoo-hoo?
It should have been. It should have been. Well, they don't have them at Newtown Bagel. Remember the right behind they used to have in that fridge? They carry a new one now.
Alex, you did not make your own at home, did you? You didn't get a Hershey's chocolate and stir it in.
I sure didn't. No. I had a bottle at Newtown Bagel that I bought.
Okay, good.
Man, you really brought me back with the Hershey syrup. Wow. No, I didn't do that.
Really dump that in there.
So I had a sugar rush from the chocolate milk, and I just dumped in all these carbs and pork roll and cheese that I'm not eating throughout the week.
Get that cholesterol. Spike that cholesterol.
Spike my insulin. Yeah. And then I just laid horizontal and just watched my fantasy team on my phone. I propped it up on one of the blankets, and then just Scott Hansen for the other. And prior to Scott, it was just all Eagles. It was just all Eagles because they get the local broadcast, and they absolutely shit the bed to come out. They looked horrible. I was expecting to just almost like turn the game off or switch over to red zone after halftime. Yeah. And I was like, I'll give them maybe a couple. They were down 26-7 at one point. And the offense just didn't pass. They had -5 yards passing to the Rams, like 100 yards, 120 yards passing in one quarter or one half even. It looked so anemic, and it was so frustrating because it's like, guys, pass the ball. What are we doing? And then they start passing the ball, and it's like, hadn't dropped a beat from last year. It looks like the playoffs. It looks like the Super Bowl. A.J. Brown looks amazing. Dallas Goedert looks amazing. The defense steps it up in correspondence with it. It's a wild team where they can just turn it on. I just felt like when they were lining up that field goal, I just felt like we're not losing this game. He's going to shank it. He's going to shank it.
The last one?
Yeah, the last one. I was like, he's going to shank it. He's not going to make it. It's 40 yards, but he's not going to make it. And they blocked it. And you're like, oh, of course. And then they're running. Yeah. It felt like such an exclamation point that he didn't fall on it, that it's Jordan Davis of all people who they have been. I know,
I wanted to talk about that.
I have been holding on his stock forever. AJ specifically always gives every opportunity to call him a bust. He was a first round 15th overall pick. He's a bust. And it's his last year of his rookie contract. He lost 30 pounds. He's finally playing all the downs. He's stopping runs. He's getting sacks. He's getting pressures. And he's making game-winning field goal blocks. And he's sprinting 60 yards down the field. The link is yelling at the top of their lungs. It felt like such an exclamation point. It felt like such a victory of a draft pick. It felt way bigger than just the win, that it was Jordan Davis running a 60-yard sprint. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like, it was him doing
18 miles per hour.
Yeah. Just, it felt like so cathartic. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know?
To block it at the line like that and then pick it up is crazy, because that means not only did he get up, he then got through. Yeah. So simultaneously, he did both of those. And I was watching, it was a good game for me to be watching Red Zone, because I didn't really watch that first half as much. And I didn't really realize how bad, because I just kind of looked up, and when it was 26-7 or whatever, I wasn't honed in on the game. I was looking at other things. It was just kind of like they're not showing it that much, like they're not showing it. And I was kind of like, what's going on? And then Ken, amazing host, ends up putting the game on, but that was in the second half. So we ended up watching
all the good stuff.
And like, to me, it was kind of awesome, because in the beginning I do have Devontae Adams. So that was the one guy where I was like, if it's going to be anyone, just Devontae Adams, that's fine. And I was kind of okay with that. Then they go in and they just turned it on in that second half. I have Devontae Smith, like I mentioned, on the trade block, and I am yelling at the screen, and and it's funny because Casey goes, "Oh, you watch it like I watch it," is what he said to me. because as soon as Ken put on the live feed of the Eagles, I just stand up and I'm in the TV and I am just like, I'm like, he's got to be there. And I'm just talking about each player and every thing that should have happened or why it was wrong or why it was right. And then I get up, I'm standing up and I go, it's fourth down. They go empty. And I go, Devontae Smith in the slot. And they're like, where is he? I was like, he's in the slot, bottom of the screen. I go, Devontae Smith over the middle, touchdown. And Devontae Smith touchdown. And I was very upset because he went outside instead of into the middle.
You're upset by the route.
Yeah. Yeah. But I was calling and they were just kind of like, oh my God, Jesus Christ. And then obviously then the ensuing drive down the field goal. And you're right. I felt the same thing where I was just like, I was yelling at the screen. I go, block it again, block it again, block it again. I was yelling, block it again. He did.
Did you lose your crap? Did you lose your shit?
Which I lost my mind. And as I'm watching Jordan Davis run, I'm yelling, it was never close. It was never close. I'm yelling, it was never close. Just the psychopath. And he scores, and I kind of look around, I kind of realize, oh, I'm in enemy territory. I'm whoa. But they were very amped up because it was just a crazy play. It was such a crazy
Any football
game.
fan can appreciate that game. Because it was just a crazy ending. And that is so funny to yell. It was never even close.
It was just it's the most insulting thing you could kind of right out. We were down.
We're down 26-7. It was never even close.
Yeah. Yeah, it was never even close. And it's the Rams. The Rams have been they've been the ones competing, and I feel like we're kind of like the Bucs to them. We're their
We always
heel.
beat them. It's always a good game. It's always a good game, but we always beat them. And honestly, Jake, the Eagles have won 17 straight games.
With Jalen Hurts.
With Jalen Hurts, thank you. And I think that's why I just was like, they were not going to lose. They can't lose. They don't lose. They don't lose. And it happens every week.
Yeah.
It's bizarre. As an Eagles fan, it's only been 2 years of this. It's only been 2 years, kind of, the last
Yeah. Well, I will say there was that Super Bowl year when we went 3 years ago now.
Oh, 22. Yeah. They were juggernaut.
That team, they were blowing people out because they didn't have they were getting a ton of sacks, I remember.
Yeah, that was Gannon's defense, right? Yeah.
The first year of it, or the second or whatever. But yeah, this feels so much more there's less blowouts, but you're right. I think there's a certainty about it because of the Super Bowl win, where you're there just feels like this certainty. And I've heard this from some beat reporters talking about Hurts is much more vocal, and it's because he won, he's no longer this young guy telling people what to do. He's a more veteran player that has the gravitas of someone that's won it. And so they actually know what they're talking about.
A Super Bowl MVP.
And so he's much more vocal. Yeah. And he's been to 2. And so, yeah, it is really cool. I hope the team can really stay. I think they're doing a good job of staying humble though, internally, and not overlooking people.
That dude specifically.
I hope they can keep that.
That dude specifically, Jalen Hurts, is the most level-headed, never too high, never too low, almost like a psychopath, level-headed, perfect for the city of Philadelphia to be a quarterback, the perfect mentality for the city.
Yeah.
Because when they're singing his praises, he doesn't care. And when they're ripping him to shreds, he doesn't care. And every time he just keeps winning, it just makes everybody else look dumb, whether they're right or wrong about him. He just keeps winning. And
it
doesn't care otherwise. Yeah.
Yeah. And it is fun because this offseason, there's a lot of dialogue about, they always do the top 10 quarterbacks or whatever. And Hurts, they put him behind Stafford. Stafford was ranked on like ESPN's big thing. So I think this is a fun game to kind of like, I don't know, did he out quarterback him? Probably not. Like Stafford had a pretty good game. He did throw a pick. Stafford threw a pick, and Hurts went Super Saiyan at the end.
I was gonna say
Well,
he outplayed him in the
maybe,
second half for sure. I mean, he balled the
yeah,
hell out in the second half, and I was gonna say
yep,
this game felt like one of those games. It felt like three different games. First half, kind of the
yeah,
middle part of it,
yep,
and then the second half, or the second
yeah.
half of the second half, I guess I should say, like the third quarter
The
and
other
fourth.
thing, the other thing we haven't really chatted about was the fact that Lane Johnson left the game. Now, I didn't catch this in my red zoning, but I think that's part of the reason. Like, Verse had that strip
Mm-hmm.
sack,
Well,
because it's
I
on
gotta
the
gotta
backup.
add this. They didn't put in Fred Johnson right away. They put in
Yep,
Pryor,
Matt
and
Pryor.
Pryor got
Yeah,
absolutely manhandled, and then they benched him and put in Fred Johnson, and they were like, "Well, Pryor was here for the training camp and everything," because if you remember, or for the listener, Fred Johnson was on the team last year, won the Super Bowl. He was a backup tackle. He played great as a backup. He came in when Lane Johnson got hurt last year. He was awesome. He signs a contract with the Jaguars. For whatever reason, over the preseason, they don't love it. Howie Roseman trades for him back at the end of the preseason to start the year. So he missed the preseason and the offseason OTAs and everything. So I think they use that as an excuse to say, okay, Pryor was here over for the new playbook with the new offensive coordinator. So he's got more familiarity. So we're going to play him. But then he just, no results popped up. Verse just ate his lunch, took his lunch money and ate his lunch. And then they put in Fred Johnson, and then Fred Johnson just doesn't ruin the game. Like he like keeps it above board. He doesn't sink the ship. And then you start to see the comeback kind of happen after that. Because Lane Johnson went out
I
in
think
the first quarter, first half at least. Yeah.
yeah. I don't think it's a coincidence that like, yeah, that was a big blow to why they were getting blown out to begin with, was them figuring that out. So that's another thing, good thing to monitor, kind of figure it out from there. Um, but yeah, man, big Jordan Davis game. Did he block the first kick as well? Or was it
Jalen
Carter?
Carter hit it, and then it ricocheted off of Jordan Davis's arm. But it was like, I'm pretty sure
Yeah,
when they did the zoom in, the slow mo, it was like the bicep of Jalen Carter, which kind of proves that guy
right.
had a low trajectory. That guy had a really low trajectory the way he was kicking.
Yeah, and what's funny, it does feel like a little bit of an equalizer with their special teams, because they were doing those crazy kickoffs.
Knuckleball
It
and
was
dirty kicks are
when I
called. Dirty kicks is what Greg Olson kept saying in the booth.
Is that what he was saying?
He said it's new this year because of the new rule this year where the kickoffs are spiking. It was like all-time low the last 2 years where nobody was taking returns, but now that the penalty is a 35-yard line, that's enough where
Right.
like it has flipped where I think it was like 15% of kickoffs were taken last year. The last 2 years was like almost 15 to 20%. It's now inverted where it's like 75% are coming
Right.
out.
It's huge.
And so now the special teams coordinators are telling the kickers, let's give them some junk balls. Let's give them some junk balls like a
Yeah,
pitcher, like a Venezuelan pitcher coming out of the bullpen. So they're
sure.
kicking junk balls. And this guy, Keedy, the Rams guy, apparently he's really good at it. And it looked like it.
Yeah, looked like it. They didn't handle it, looked like one of them.
Yeah.
I watched that condensed game, and it was kind of embarrassing because every time they dropped it. Every
It was a
time.
mixture of like, I don't know, because it's Mechie and Tank Bigsby. And Bigsby didn't even really do it in college. He kind of did in college, but he has really not a lot of experience. So that's part of it too, is like, I
Yeah.
don't know if Keedy's great at it or if our guys are not good at it. It's kind of like tough to tell. We'll see as the season goes on if
Yeah.
it was Mechie and Tank Bigsby's fault or if just Keedy, the kicker, throws a good junk ball, a good dirty kick, you know?
Yeah. I'm starting to think like, I mean, the Rams, they're a pretty good team, and they've got a really like formidable defense, like their front, and then a special teams edge where it's like they were getting good field position, and then they had like a strong
Hmm.
defense. And it's like, oh, I wonder if this is their kind of recipe. But they also have obviously the playmakers on offense. It's like they always have good offense with McVay, Puka, Stafford there. Kyron's doing good, and Corum is really fun. Corum is a nice, like, I feel like he's really becoming part of the offense for
He's
them.
one of my guys that I'm early on. I was early on last year, and I've just been keeping an eye on him. I even picked him up in another league because if Kyron
Yeah,
ever goes down, I feel like he's going to be like Kyron. I think it happened with Kyron where what's his face? I don't know if it was Todd
yeah.
Gurley or who was the running back. Was it Cam Akers?
No, I think it was even Cam Akers,
But
maybe, which is bad.
whoever the running back is that McVay falls in love with, he just makes a bell cow. And so if Corum becomes the guy, I feel like he could
Yeah,
explode. And now he's a year in.
yeah.
I think Corum maybe next year he'll be the guy, or if there's an injury this year.
It could be. Yeah, he's ramping up. I mean, I was watching him too on fantasy, and it's like, I couldn't justify dropping some other guys, but
Yeah.
I really like his. It it's like a couple of those guys where it's like, if there's an injury, this guy's the guy kind of thing. So, um, I guess what else we got? Pittsburgh, New England here. This was, again, I was watching Warren this whole game. Nothing crazy otherwise. It looked like Drake May does. He looks like a little bit of like loose cannon, kind
I heard
of
this on
like
another
Will Levis.
on the fantasy footballers. It was perfect, and it fits our needs as well, or our proclivities. Is he's got some Carson Wentz in him. He's got some Carson Wentz in
Yes,
him
I heard that.
on the
Yeah,
fantasy football.
where you can have some amazing games,
Yep,
but
but you also get
you could have some
the
bonehead ones.
knucklehead ones exactly, where you're like, what is he doing? And this seemed like one of those
Right.
games. Yeah,
Yeah. And I guess, I mean, I do like that Pittsburgh defense. I've been saying that. And they finally showed up.
yeah. They got off to a slow start.
Which
Yeah,
yeah, slow start, but then also like the whole week there was a lot of good defenses. So they're kind of lost in it anyway. The next one, Jacksonville, Houston. Houston's 0-3. Houston looks terrible. Both of these quarterbacks look
dude.
terrible.
Yes,
Lawrence and Stroud look really bad.
I was gonna say
Like,
Stroud.
it's killer for all the fantasy implications because Nico Collins had, I think, one big bomb, and that might have been last week. I can't remember now. And then Brian Thomas is
Ugh, ugh.
lost. Casey, poor Casey's trying to just sell him off. He's like, he's trying to trade with me because I'm obviously like 0-3, whatever. And he was trying to get some stuff going, but he had some fun things. But Brian Thomas is just not there. Travis Hunter looks like a bust,
Fantasy
which is
wise,
kind of
yes,
brutal.
maybe not as a player.
Fantasy
Yeah,
wise,
maybe not as a player.
right? Fantasy wise,
Tootin might have some potential. But ETN started off a little hot, but yeah, all these guys. I thought Jacksonville was going to be this fun fantasy team. I thought they're going to have a lot of scoring. I thought maybe Trevor Lawrence would finally have a year. We thought this head coach Duval, that guy, I
yeah,
thought he was going to be coming over from Tampa Bay. Thought he was going to be, I mean, it's still early. Houston's defense is very good. Um,
mm-hmm.
Houston's offensive line stinks though, and I feel like it just leads
Yeah.
to
They got rid of
these
Tunsil.
uggo
They got rid
games.
of Tunsil.
Houston's in uggo games where their defense plays
Yeah,
really well and their offense just sputters along, and then their defense plays really well, and you're just watching a good defense just slowly get tired. It feels like throughout the game.
yeah, yep. I had that's the other one. I had Pittsburgh and Houston defense, and I don't know. It's just not. They're not as good because maybe the offense doesn't keep them on
I
schedule, and they get put in bad
I
situations.
think
But
the offense doesn't chew enough clock. I feel like you need that for a good
yeah,
fantasy defense. Is like once they get a couple turnovers, chew some clock so that they're not putting up a lot of points. Shorten the game and
I think Mixon getting hurt seems a little bit more important than I think people realized. Chubb has been fine. He's had some fantasy like startable days, like 10, 12 points,
yeah.
whatever. But I don't know. The next one, Denver Chargers. Like we talked about already, I do love the Chargers. I think I'm bullish. I love Herbert. I think he did have like a really solid game considering it was such a tough defense. I felt like they were shutting down Lad quite a bit. Hampton came up right? He had a pretty good game
Finally,
after the
baby.
injury.
Finally,
What did he
baby.
end up finishing with?
He finished with about 24. He was leading
Yeah.
scorer. Again, I got boat raced by the Vikings defense, and the F Shack came to town and put up. They have 180 right now, so 184. But Marion Hampton had like 24.9. So he's my leading scorer. So he finally showed up. That felt great. I just have other people in that league, Justin Jefferson, Mike Evans, that are just underperforming, and you're like, ugh. But it's really exciting, like you said, really great that that Najee tore an ACL. Pretty great stuff from Marion Hampton.
Blessing.
Real blessing. Because now the fantasy season looks pretty exciting for him. He's going to be a bell cow in this offense. Like you said, Herbert's tossing around the yard. Hopefully he's just punching in touchdowns. We're getting he's got a lot of catches even. So a lot of check downs, hoping that I drafted him thinking he's going to be the true, I thought he was in a better situation than Genty. I thought he would be the true rookie running back. And I think he was my third round pick. So I need him to be. I need him to be the guy, and it looks like he's starting to be. So hopefully this just keeps on chugging.
I think so. And then we got it's Seattle, New Orleans. My guy Kenneth Walker had a touchdown, which was nice. He had a nice little game.
You see his jump, his hurdle.
I think it was
his hurdle.
I believe so.
I
can't
great.
remember.
Hurdle DB for like a 7-yard gain,
3-4 yard.
Yeah,
right.
It
was like after. Yeah, that was really nice. It looked a little unnecessary, but it was clean, so it was kind of like whatever.
It was good.
Yeah, that was really cool.
New Orleans stinks.
Jackson Smith and Gibb.
Right. New Orleans stinks.
Yeah, New Orleans terrible. Yeah. I also think Seattle's defense is very good. They finally have Witherspoon in year 2 at corner, Tariq Woolen. They have safety. They have Julian Love, and then they drafted a guy that looks really good. And then they also have defensive front. They got Lawrence from the Cowboys. DeMarcus Lawrence.
They did. Oh, that's big,
right. Yeah,
big signing.
And they've got some hogs, I think, at D tackle as well. They have I think Jaron Reed and a couple other guys that Byron Murphy, high draft pick. He had a big play.
Leonard Williams.
Their defense looks really good.
Leonard Williams, I forgot from the Jets. His time in
Leonard
Jets,
Williams.
Right? Oh, and also it looks like Josh Jobe, if you remember from the Eagles, is their nickel corner.
Yeah.
So he's their outside corner. He's playing for them. So wow. Also Ernest Jones the fourth, or their inside linebacker. He was really good. I believe he was coming out of like SEC. Yeah. Linebacker. He came out of the SEC. He was really, really good at South Carolina, I believe.
He's on the Rams. Yeah, but he was on the Rams for a little bit.
He's one of those guys you see in Madden. You're like, oh, he's good in Madden. You want to get him in Madden.
Oh yeah, yeah, he's solid. I think he was a part of a trade, if I'm not mistaken. They have some other guys as well, but yeah, I mean that was pretty great game. Did you watch the San Francisco Arizona game at all?
I just
little nail biter.
There was I'm trying to think. There was another game. I think I was tuned into Dallas at that time, the Chicago and Dallas game.
Right.
I just hate watching Dallas, I think, at that time.
There you go. It was nothing to write home about. It was Mac Jones. Mac Jones looked like he was getting the crap beat out of him. He had a ripped jersey. He looked like he was limping at one point. The whole San Francisco got really beat up because Nick Bosa left the game. He might miss a few weeks. So that's pretty big. But it was really just Ricky Pearsall was kind of the guy for them. And then Arizona, I think they just lost the game. They looked Marvin Harrison Jr. had like 3 or 4 drops. He looked bad, and then Connor got hurt.
He might be done for the year, I think. I think he's done for the year.
Brutal stuff. And then, that game, though, was kind of boring. It was on there, and it was a little bit boring. The Dallas-Chicago game.
16-15. Not a lot of scoring happening.
Yeah.
Like you said, Chicago.
It wasn't super fun.
Chicago-Dallas was...
that felt like everything people wanted from Caleb Johnson and Caleb Williams and Ben Johnson. It's like all these big plays. Luther Burden had some big
That
plays.
flea flicker.
Dunze is having an amazing
Yep.
season. The flea flicker from Swift. Swift was very solid. And DJ Moore, I don't know if he had a ton of stats, but he was really involved. He was lined up at running
Mm-hmm.
back. So they're just
Even
doing everything. Komet had a
I was gonna say
touchdown.
Loveland. Loveland got involved even. He had a catch, a couple
Yeah, he had some
catches. Yeah, he's
catches.
finally getting
Yeah.
seeing some playing time, seeing at least some reps and some catches. I mean, because he's playing, but he wasn't getting much. Yeah,
And that's one of those things where I don't know. I mean, they looked really good, but Dallas's defense is looking pretty
yeah.
bad. I think that's another
Could
part
be
of it. I
mirage.
think
Could be
that's
mirage.
another key
We'll
thing.
see as it quarterizes. Like you said,
Yeah.
we're almost into the meat of the season where we can start drawing conclusions, and we're getting close to a conclusion on Dallas's defense is not good. Maybe not good
Yeah.
idea trading away your best player. Maybe not a good
Yeah.
idea. Maybe
Maybe not the best defensive player in the league.
top 5.
Probably 10
Top
guy.
5.
Top 10
Yeah.
guy in the league overall, which is kind of wild. But the Kansas City Giants game, or as I'm calling it, the Scattaboo game. Do we
Man.
like it? Did you watch it? Did you,
Of
or was it too
course.
late for
No, I
you?
watched it. Not all of it. I don't think I caught the very end of it because it is so late here, the East Coast time zone.
You
But I could
know,
watch it in
after
bed.
my gauntlet of a week.
Yeah. Did you?
Oh, there you
Yeah.
go. I was gonna say after my gauntlet of a weekend, this was the game I was napping for, and then I had an early bedtime.
Love that.
I
Love that.
I made some pizza or whatever, some frozen pizzas. We had two
What
of
kind of
them,
frozen pizza?
and then ate
What kind of
those.
frozen pizza? What
What's
kind
that?
of frozen pizza?
Well, I'm happy as Alex had some mushroom, had a little little mushroom and like pesto, and then another like buffalo chicken pizza. Both Trader Joe's.
I was
Both
gonna
Trader
ask if
Joe's.
okay, yeah. So not like Red Baron. You're
Yeah.
not doing like a Red Baron. You have some dignity.
No.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. So yeah, but cool. We did that. I mean, so I didn't get to catch a lot of the KC game. It seems like they blew them out. Did you have anything noteworthy? I mean, I saw the Scattaboo was just like having a ball.
Scattaboo was
but
doing it. Russell Wilson. This is what I'll say. Russell Wilson last week, he played Dallas. He looked amazing.
yeah,
He was trying his best to get benched. He was just throwing it all over the yard. And just picks. So last week he did it, touchdowns. This week, interceptions. It was like
yeah.
he was doing the same thing, and just strange. Jackson Dart comes in for a play or two, and then Russell Wilson comes back in. It just looks weird when they do it.
I picked up KC defense for this week in a couple leagues, and I'm very happy about
Pretty
it.
good.
Yeah,
Pretty
I'm
good.
happy about it. It felt like it was a good
And
pick. But
Mahomes is just he's Mahomes. So, and I think what's his name?
yeah,
Deontay Thornton, is that his name? The burner for them? Deontay Thornton, is that right?
the expatriate guy. Yeah. I think it's a different first name, but Thornton, yeah.
Thornton for Kansas City, he just looks like he might be a player. Xavier Worthy's out. He's the Xavier Worthy guy. He's hitting deep balls.
Tyquan
Thank
Thornton.
you. Thank you. Tyquan Thornton. He looked good. He looked good in that game.
Yeah, that's his second game in a row now. Touchdown and double-digit fantasy points.
Yep. Yeah, since Travis Kelce knocked out Xavier Worthy, he's been kind of the guy.
Yeah. So interesting. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, it's funny because the Patriots can't really they're trying to find a receiver, and they could let him go, and I think they have different philosophies. It makes much more sense for Kansas City for him to kind of do well or whatever. I'm interested. Are you watching this Detroit Baltimore at all? How's it going?
It is 21-21.
Because this will be the last
third quarter, 7 seconds left.
Wow.
You're Detroit. They're looking at the clock. Are they going to snap it? They're not going to snap it. They're going to quarter end. But Detroit is right on the goal line, and Goff was just looking at the timer, and he goes, "You know what? I'm taking the fourth." And so,
oh boy.
So it looks like
I'm hoping
21-21. Hopefully Williams gets you that touchdown, and hopefully the win for you. Laporta does not have 100 points, so not a good update for me either. Laporta. Yeah, you do. You're still 8
brutal.
points away. I haven't seen any movement. There's no
Oh,
movement.
boy, it's going to be brutal. Going to be brutal.
He needs a touchdown here.
Now, Alex.
Yeah. Yeah, what's up? What's up, Jake?
That should do it for the football-y stuff. I do want to ask, because I know we're going a little bit longer than we wanted, but the Phils, we have to talk about the Phils.
They're looking great.
Before here.
Yeah, so
they do.
Here are the notes here. Here are the notes here that I have. So last week, about a week ago, last Monday, they clinched and they played against the Dodgers in Dodger Stadium. And I watched the local broadcast of this. So this is like the Philly local broadcast. They're family friendly, and so the Phillies clinch. It's very exciting. They're the first team to clinch their division, and so everybody's very excited. And you could see after the game, like the team kind of celebrated on the field a little bit, but you could see after the game, they just showed the inside of the locker room. It's empty at this point, but it looks like a scene from Dexter where there is nothing but tarps up, like clear tarps up, because they know that they're about to spray a lot of champagne and drink a lot. Right. And on top of all of those clear tarps, around the outside lined are LED party lights. Like these are party lights, and that's all you see. And then the broadcasters are in, and they're like, and this is a great team. This is a great team win. After Wheeler went down, they rallied. Bader has been a great addition to the team. Duran has brought life to this team, and this team has hunkered down and hunkered together. Then you start seeing the guys pile in to this locker room, and you start seeing them popping some champagne. They roll out what it looks like they would roll out like all of the jock straps in, like the laundry basket, but it's filled with filled with beer, and it's filled with drinks, and it's like ice and water, like ice water and beer. It's all like bobbing around, and they're wheeling it out. This is all in the background. And you watch some of the guys really they're shaking it up, and they're spraying each other in the face. And there's this weird in between of like job's not finished. And there's like a couple people like job's not finished, but then other people that are like, we did it. And so you start to see in the background, it's really starting to get loose. The boys are really starting to get loose. And this is something that I was nose to the ground journalism. I'm noticing I'm noticing here, wait a minute, we brought up Garrett Stubbs, the backup catcher, about maybe like a month ago. And what about a month ago, we knew we're getting close to clinching, right? We're getting close to clinching. He didn't play all year. He wasn't really a part of this season. Like he was like borderline dropped, and we thought his career was over. Now, if you know anything about Garrett Stubbs, for the listener that doesn't know who Garrett Stubbs is, and you shouldn't know who Garrett Stubbs is, he's a backup catcher. He's a backup catcher, but he was known as the vibes guy for the playoff runs the last couple of years. And I have to imagine he's the one that set up all of the lights and all of the stuff, because then you see as the guys in the booth, the local Philly broadcasts are trying to be professional and family friendly. And they're like, we're going to go down to Tom in there for, it looks like he's got Harrison Bader for an interview. And Harrison is like clearly a couple drinks in. And Harrison's like, I'm just trying to be me out there, baby. I'm just trying to do me. And I'm just trying to be a part of this team. I love Philadelphia, but we are going the distance. And the guy's like trying to get an interview out of him. And this guy is like, you're looking at his eyes. His eyes aren't there fully. No. And then it gets back to Garrett Stubbs, because this is my conspiracy theory. I think they brought in Garrett Stubbs from Double-A. I think they brought him up just for the party. I think he's the party guy. I think he's the vibes guy. You see him in the background, and there is a clear beer bong. There's a clear beer bong in the locker room, which is great, but so funny to watch this local broadcast try to describe this to like a child-friendly audience, and they go, oh, and it's clearly in the frame. And they go, oh, it's like a blue beer bong. And they go, oh, and it looks like they've got a funnel for soda pop. They've got a and it was ago. It was so funny. I was going to bed. I couldn't turn it off. I was tired. I should have gone to bed. I could not turn it off. It was just so funny to watch. I'm like, who are the guys on the team that are really like getting into it?
Are they in LA for that? Was in LA, right?
LA locker room. And they're in the LA locker room partying. And then they play Ohtani the next day, hangover game. You're thinking there's no way they win the next game. There's no way. They beat Ohtani. Yeah. Well, I mean, kind of crazy, but that game, Ohtani just has their number. It looks like a hangover game through 5. And then after 5 innings, they pull Ohtani, probably a pitch count thing, and then they just blow up the Dodgers bullpen, and they win the game. And they win the next game on like Tuesday, and then that brings Wednesday, which I think that was the game you went to, right? That was on Wednesday.
Yeah. And it was brutal because that
was the true hangover game. That was the true hangover game.
Yeah,
yep.
I was watching, and there's a dark part of me earlier in the week where I know I'm going Wednesday,
but you want to lose,
and I'm kind of like, I hope they don't clinch.
Yet. You want to be at the clinch game.
Yeah, I want to be at the clinch game. My barber was at that second game. He was at Ohtani. Shout out to Mickey. He was. We were gonna try and. We're going to try and match it up and go to the game together, grab a beer. But I went with a couple of the other guys. It was Jared, Nick, Zane, Lisa, and I. And I mean, great time. We had a great time. We go there. We're up in the bleachers. I'll tell you what, a lot of Philly fans in Dodger Stadium.
Yeah.
I'm optimistic about a playoff game because a lot of red.
Yeah.
There was a lot of red. But, the game I go to, like, there were no bats. There were no bats whatsoever. Yeah. And Dodgers, I will say, just a cool, fun little baseball bingo card thing. I did get to see Ohtani get a home run.
That's awesome. That's great.
So, it was against the Phillies, which was brutal. But hopefully if he has a long career and hangs them up as, keeps up this
one of the
incredible
goats.
run.
Yeah.
Yeah, if he could keep that up, it'd be very cool to say I got to watch him live hit a home run. So that was really cool from that perspective. But they were down 0-2, 0-3 at one point. I will say there was a wave going around, and this wave starts going around, and the game was kind of dead. Wave comes around. People start perking up, and I'll tell you what, the players, like, it felt like there was a shift. Unfortunately, it worked for the Dodgers, but just something you don't see on the broadcast is like the wave happens. There's this lull in the game. The wave goes on, and then it just like there was just juice kind of in the stadium, and it felt like there was a reaction, it was really cool.
That's
it was
wild
really cool
to think
just
about.
Like see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was brutal. It was brutal because I think it was final 5-0. Something like that. Did you watch it? Did you watch that one as well?
I watched the beginning of it. That was on real late. I mean, they're all on late. The Dodgers game started at like 8 o'clock here, and it's like 3 hours or so.
Yeah.
Maybe even later. So I watched the beginning of it thinking of you because you sent the picture of like your seats and everything. But I think I did fall asleep during it because it was, the bats are silent. It was kind of like, and I was thinking like for this podcast, I'd hear your perspective, but watching it, it's funny, they did mention the wave on the broadcast, actually. John Kruk and Tom did mention it. It's funny you brought that up.
What did they say?
Well, they were kind of like homers about it. Like, it looks like it's not really getting around too much. It's not like a Philly wave. Like they were like, they were like trying to,
It was a weaker wave than some other ones but it did like there was an effect. It was kind of wild that it did feel like there was a change before and after, which I mean I didn't really expect or anything like that. But it was not a fun one to be a Phillies fan and be in enemy territory. Actually, it might have been better for my safety that that they lost.
Weren't upset. Like the Dodger fans weren't upset that
exactly
your team beat them.
Exactly. But it was fun. It was a blast. We got to kind of get everyone. Had a Dodger dog.
You
Had a
did?
Dodger dog, couple of brewskis. Oh
How
yeah.
was the Dodger dog?
Oh
How
yeah.
was?
It was good. Lisa was a champ. Went up. She did the first run. Got the Dodger dog, and she comes in, and it had the works. It had the works on it. So that was it was pretty
What
good.
is the
I
works?
will
Is
say
it
though,
relish, ketchup, mustard?
little mustard, little ketchup, that kind of action. Yeah, but I will say, you know what I liked better than the Dodger dog was the
Ice
lady
cream?
outside in the parking lot
Yep.
of the USC game where they've got it there. There's a line of them. There's well over 15 waiting for USC game to pour out, and they have bacon wrapped around the hot dog.
Yep.
That one and peppers, and it's like half the price.
Jake, do you remember
of a Dodger dog.
leaving Crypto Arena after we saw the Lakers lose it after Anthony Davis missed a game-winning shot with Jared, and then we got those hot dogs afterwards?
Yep, last game before COVID.
That's right. We got
last
those
game before COVID.
street hot dogs covered in bacon right before COVID.
Yeah. Yep. It was the exact same setup and everything. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Those were way honestly better than a Dodger dog. The Dodger dog was fine. It was just like a stadium,
but
park, whatever.
But the price.
I got some beer
Were they
next
expensive?
round. What's that?
Was a Dodger dog expensive?
I don't know. Lisa grabbed it. I don't even know. I ended up getting the second round of beers, and I got some Cracker Jacks because I'll tell you what.
Love that.
We did the 7th inning stretch.
Yeah.
We did the 7th inning stretch, and they play "Take Me Out to the Ball Game." Man, when it hits, the refrain hits, and you've got, buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jack, and we've got our bags of cracker.
I love that.
It was
That's a real piece of Americana right there. That's a real piece of
it was.
Yeah, that sounds
I
awesome.
got a sugar tooth, so
you got ice cream?
Yeah, I got a sweet tooth, so
you got ice cream?
No, but the Cracker Jacks hit the fix.
Good.
It hit the fix for me, which was really nice. Really nice. But yes, I mean, that was it. I mean, brother, I feel like we hit it. I think we hit what we needed to hit. Is there anything else?
I'm going to loop back. Last thing is, I kind of touched on it, but this Garrett Stubbs thing, I want to just put a button on it. He gets called up from Double-A, right? So just imagine this. So as an MLB player compared to him, you're like, that's a horrible career, You get sent down, you're Double-A, you were in the big leagues, and now you're just getting sent up, and you're kind of the party guy. But if you compare him to the average person, what a great life. What a great life.
Oh my God.
Are you kidding me? You're playing Double-A ball, low stakes, who cares, whatever. Who knows what he's doing after the games. And then you get called up to be the party guy for the Philadelphia Phillies, and you get to celebrate hopefully a World Series this year, fingers crossed. Like, what a life. And make shit ton of money.
It reminds me, it's like Blue Mountain State.
Yeah.
It kind of reminds me of that show, Blue Mountain State, the backup quarterback, party guy, just doing it. Alex, I'm looking at our notes. I completely forgot. One of the things I think we absolutely need to talk about is in fantasy. Got to backtrack a bit, but I was on a run and I just had a daydream. I was just like, I've got it. It was one of those light bulb. It just went on. And for fantasy football, I think for the punishment, we need the loser of the league has to go on week 1 of the following season and watch NFL Red Zone on mute, and they have to become Scott Hansen. I think it would be perfect. You've got the Waffle House, you've got, like a bowling alley, and you got to knock off time.
Right.
Yeah, you've got all these things. This is the same thing. It's 7 hours of commercial-free football brought to you by the loser of your league. I just think they have to live stream it.
Yes.
And keep it up that way.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
I love this idea.
So people can kind of
I love this idea because I think that person, after like an hour, they're going to be lost. They're going to be real lost.
Yeah.
And then they have 6 or 7 hours left. That is a lot. I mean, you and I are a couple yammer mouths. I feel like we could fend off maybe half of that time. And then after half of it, really, really start to lose some steam. But we're yammer mouths. If you're not a yammer mouth, I can imagine maybe 40 minutes being like done, then you have 8 hours. That would be a wild punishment because then they're really pushing through it. That's a real day. That's a real day. And they're going to be
And the other
watching,
thing,
so you kind of can force them to do it a little bit,
The other thing too is, I mean, you could go real hardo if you've got a real intense league, and you can do the real Scott Hansen doesn't pee. He doesn't go to the bathroom. He doesn't take breaks. You could, if you really want to lay the hammer, you could force that on the person.
You mentioned
and see if they can.
You mentioned live stream. See if they can hold it or pull it off. And you mentioned like the live stream.
Yeah.
You could have people chirping in there too. You could have like the Hardo League could have real people chirping. Hey, what are you doing? What are you doing? We didn't even talk about Green Bay. You didn't talk about Green Bay. Come on. What about the Bears game?
I know. And then just the cherry on top at the end, they have to do the recap of it all. And they just have to do all the plays after they've just powered through. They have to watch it
all
and
the
just
touchdowns.
Go, and this touchdown, and this touchdown. It's just rapid fire at the very end is just absolute chaos.
I would love that. Maybe even make him wear the suit. Make him wear the uniform. Whatever Scott wears.
Yeah,
make him
do
wear
a full thing.
Do the full thing.
I don't know. I think I'm gonna run it around. I'm gonna throw in some group chats and see if we can get some traction. I think it's a hit. I think this is like really good.
I agree. I'm with it.
I think that could be like
it's got some legs.
Money.
It's got some legs.
Got some legs. It's got some legs. I think with that though.
We should.
I think with that. I think that's it. I think that's.
I think we should use our legs and get out of here.
Epi here.
That's right. We should use our legs and get out of here.
Oh, there it is.
Come on now. Come on.
We're gonna use them. That was it. That's enough for us. That's going yard.
Thanks, guys.